Thank you for tuning in to Chocolate Smoov and Chappsticc. Here's your host, Chocolate Smoov.
Pew, pew, pew. Hi, everybody. My name is Chocolate Smoov with my trusty sidekick,
Chappsticc. What's up, guys?
How's everybody doing today? We are here, and we are proud to say we love you to the band. We love you to the band.
I like you too.
I don't know any U2 songs. But I know that I know them, but I don't, people are like, oh, you want to go to a U2 concert? But nobody's ever asked me that.
Didn't they do that thing with Justin Bieber and Skrillex?
I don't know, nobody's ever asked me to go to a U2 concert either, so that was a complete lie.
I've been asked to go to a U2 concert? Anyway.
I would go because... No, I wouldn't. Never mind.
No, I wouldn't.
Never mind.
No, don't worry.
Never mind, I wouldn't go. I don't know. Because I know that if I heard, they're one of those bands that you're like, oh, it's U2. You know, you're like, oh, that's the band that you were talking about. Like, it's that you never remember the song. Maybe other people do.
I just thought
they're pretty famous.
I just thought somebody was
Are
like
they
saying,
British?
"Oh, U2?"
Are they British?
I don't know.
Yeah, and is it a U and a 2, or is it YOUTWO, YOU2?
No, it's a U and the number 2.
Okay, so they went the shortest possible route.
Yes.
Do you think they thought about that?
They had to have.
Do you think they were like, they drew them out, they were like YOU, like I just did, and they were like, no, let's just go with the U2.
I think somebody was sending a text message and they're just like, band name. That's it.
They're old. They didn't have texting. Maybe a beeper message.
That's a beeper message.
That's a good point. That is a good point. Somebody was like, he called and he was like,
you too.
And
oh,
he called and they all had a conversation. They're like, all right, guys, what do you guys want to name the band? And they were like, well, we want it to be called U2. And then they just wrote U2. And then he's like, oh, and it was really just because it was easier on a beeper this whole time.
Yep. We're making history. We're learning about history.
I think they're all Jehovah's Witnesses.
They're not.
I was starting a rumor.
That
would have been a good rumor, though. That would have been a good one. I'm trying to bring them back by giving them rumors.
They never went anywhere.
Yeah, dude, they're one of the most famous bands in the whole world. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so they didn't go anywhere. What are you talking about?
They're super famous.
That's anyway. What are you gonna talk about?
Man, I can't remember what I was thinking earlier today. But what we can talk about is a serious thing is that I'm gonna do this run, and now you got me worried about my nipples.
Yeah, no, dude, that's a serious problem that
I've never had that. I've run plenty of times. I've been to the gym plenty of times. Never had nipple problems.
That's because you usually run with your shirt off. Am I right?
Sometimes.
Okay, well, that's partially. You know how when runners wear those skin tight uniforms?
Yeah, wouldn't that be more rubbing?
Yeah, that's 100% more rubbing.
So why are they wearing that?
They have Band-Aids on their nipples.
No, but why are they wearing that? If it's
reduce wind drag, just like water.
But if you're not wearing anything, wouldn't it reduce wind drag? Unless you're a Sasquatch. I'm a smooth, moist,
you gotta think,
glistening of a human being. I'm just gonna cut right through the wind, so I'm not even gonna have to worry about my nipples.
Well, you gotta think,
I'm just gonna slice through it with all the sweat as it glistens off me, and I'm just majestically going. Like it's only been a mile.
And I'll be in the car behind you going. This is really hot outside, guys.
It's so hot.
I can't take this. Oh, I need to turn the AC down.
Yeah, but seriously, I was worried about my...
Yeah, I mean, running across the country. Well, I mean, the country of Florida. I would protect anything I could.
Dude, and it is going to be hot. It is going to be hot. I'm going to need water. I'm going to need to get a camel pack, which is such a weird name too. And they make the little camel pack thing like a little, looks like a little vagina when you're, so it's like a little camel toe vagina.
Why? are you talking about?
I don't know. You can get that out.
What?
I didn't
Wrong
mean
with
that.
you? What is wrong?
But what I'm saying is I'm gonna need water. And I'm gonna, I was thinking.
I'll get you water.
But what's better? The camel pack, right? With the water on it? Or should I wear, like, you always see those weirdos with the goggles on that have, like, the water bottles on their side?
There's water in their goggles?
No.
Or are you talking like there's just water bottles on the side? Like they got them in a holster?
Yeah, they got, like, this belt with water bottles.
That sounds like a really inefficient way
Doesn't that seem
carry,
heavy?
to carry
You know
anything.
what else I don't like? I don't like those armbands.
Like
where you
the
put your
Armstrong?
phone, no, like where you put your phone in it.
Oh, yeah, no, those are stupid. My phone always falls out.
Well, my phone doesn't fall out, but then I just got this weight on my arms, and I can't run by myself. Like, I can't just run. I get so bored. And I try to be like, oh, nature. Ooh, a tree. That's so nice. And I'm running, I'm like, oh. And then I'm starting to breathe, and then I'm panicking because I can hear my breath, and I'm like, oh, God. And then I'm like, geez, I don't think normal people breathe like this. And then I'm running, I'm like, geez, I'm a pretty heavy runner. And then I'm looking at myself, and I'm like, I bet when I'm running, people are looking at me weird. And they're like, why is this guy running like this? He's like a retarded gazelle. Hopping.
Well, I mean, like,
I change up my runs depending on how much energy I have.
have you ever thought about just listening to an audiobook?
Yeah, you know what I've been listening to? On my runs, I've been doing this half marathon trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm doing more than a marathon, so this might be a little counterproductive, and I should probably double whatever they say. But I've just been doing what they say. And she, like, talks you through it, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna leave you alone now and play some music. And then they play, like, smooth electric music. And it's weird, because at first you're like, God, I don't like this music at all. But then you're like, oh, I'm running, and it's alright,
Running
it's cool.
to it.
And then right when you really start to hate the music, she's like, oh, hey, how you doing? This is really where you need to push yourself. And then my favorite part is where they go, well, if you're not running on a track or a treadmill, this is the point when you should probably turn around. And then I'm like, oh, thank God. I'm like, I've been waiting for that. That's like my one problem too when I work out and I have to do I do circuit training where I do 1 minute, 1 minute,
Right,
1 minute.
Yeah.
I did the ropes today and I'm like, holy crap, how long is a minute, man?
The longest minute ever.
My watch is probably broken. And then I'll look and it's been like 20 seconds and I'm like, oh my gosh.
You never know how long a minute is until you've thrown chains against a wall for a minute straight.
Oh, I did the ball for 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
And I thought I was gonna die. A 30-pound ball and I'm just throwing it on the ground, picking it up, throwing it on the ground. 5 minutes. I got like 2 minutes in and I was like, I should probably just quit. This is dumb. I was like, maybe I just did too much time. People probably don't do 5 minutes of this. And I'm like, oh wait, people do this.
People do 5 minutes.
And then I was like, you're just a bitch, Dylan. And then I kept going. Eventually, I just kept calling myself a bitch in the gym. People are looking at me weird. They're like, God, this guy's really like getting down on himself right now.
Self-deprivation, man.
Yeah, I do that when I row too. When I row, I'm like, you're such a bitch. You're just a bitch. You're just gonna quit now. You're gonna quit. And then I'm like, I can't quit.
Personal trainer comes over. Sir, are you okay?
Yeah.
You're in the middle of Publix. I don't know.
Yeah. Be like, can you stop slamming watermelons on the?
You've just been picking up cases of water for what seems like 30 minutes.
And slamming them on the ground.
And breaking all of them.
Can you please just pick this water up? These are core hydration waters.
Full circle. Full circle. I hate those things so much.
Yeah, but you know what though?
Yeah.
I have been working out, but I forgot how tired it makes you. Just exhausting.
It's because you've literally been pushing yourself
Makes you
nonstop.
And you know what? I'm not just lifting weights either, and just like, oh, I'm lifting weights. I'm doing serious cardio, and I'm doing well. I'm gonna have to say that. When we sparred the other day, I could have probably went like 5 or 6 rounds.
Same.
Yeah, so I was pretty proud of myself.
Give out. See, I just need new legs from the knees down, and then I will be perfectly fine.
Let me say this. when the day comes that you can get new legs, right? When it's when we're rich, it's affordable for you.
Yes.
You can just get the new legs. The only way I can allow, as your best friend, to let this happen is for me to chop your leg. I gotta chop your legs off. I gotta be the one.
Are you gonna give me drugs to numb the pain?
You remember when that one guy in Vikings was like, cut it, and all he got was like a stick in the mouth and some mushrooms, actually. He got some I can give you some mushrooms.
I feel like that
I'll
would be way more
stuff your mouth with mushrooms.
That would be 7 times more traumatic.
And then I'll chop your legs off.
How about this?
Oddly satisfying for me.
We do it really 127 hours style.
And now this is the thing too. When they chopped that guy's arm off, Loki did not do it in one, or Floki did not do it in one chop either, if you remember. It took him, he had to saw
through the cartilage.
He sawed through it and then chopped. So,
had to get to the bone and then get through the bone.
It's what you got to do if you want the legs.
I would rather do it with a Mexican doctor that I paid 20 pesos to.
That's just a good bargain. I would have done it for free, though.
You don't give me drugs.
I would have chopped them legs off for free,
You're not going to give me drugs to numb the pain, though.
We'll get you some drugs. Maybe some Advil. Over the counter, maybe some Benadryl.
Make it extra strength.
Just some extra strength Advil with some maybe some mixture of Benadryl, so you feel drowsy.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work with what I can get.
Maybe put some ZZZ-Quil in there.
Yeah, I'll have we'll just double up on some things.
You know what? Give me an IV bag filled
with all the generic Walgreens and CVS items.
And just drip it.
And plenty of gauze. And you know what they do have? They do have clotting powder. I've seen it there.
I feel like I gotta cauterize this wound.
No, because clotting powder will work. You just can never reattach those old legs ever again if you put the clotting powder. That's one thing I learned in training, is that if anytime you use clotting powder stuff, that stuff clumps up, kills all the nerves, kills everything, so that you can never reattach. So that's a very last minute stitch, just like a tourniquet. Really all we have to do is chop your legs off and tourniquet it until the blood your legs will just start to turn white, and then once your legs are flush and all the blood is gone,
then we cut my legs off.
Then we just cut your legs off.
Yeah.
You'll feel it a little bit, but not really.
How do you know? Have you had your legs cut off?
No, but that's just science. You could probably Google that. I'm not gonna Google that because I've already.
I don't want to get on the list.
I've already had to strategically Google pickles with lassos and sideways pickles. And these are things that you carefully have to Google specifically so that you don't get a penis. You know. So now it's happened twice. But I eventually figured out the correct algorithm to just get the pickles.
You jump through the hoops to get the...
Yeah.
Put the...
I'm just letting everybody know.
Safe search on?
Do not Google sideways pickle, even if you need it for a project.
Well, what were you doing it for?
Well, for the logo, because I was going to get a sideways pickle, and then I was going to draw the stick figure sitting on the pickle. But they don't have sideways pickles on Google.
Sideways pickle.
Yeah,
Why don't you just do a picture of a pickle and then rotate that image?
Oh, I never thought about that.
You're a dumbass.
I literally didn't even think that was possible until just now. See, this is what I'm learning about technology and these things. I really wish I got one of those computers with the pens that you could draw on it. That would have been cooler. I think my computer might be.
You can just get a pad and connect it via USB, and it does that, I think.
Yeah, but then you can't see it. See, because you draw an eye, and then now you don't know where you're drawing again.
You want a touch pad that
you could see.
Yes.
That's like an iPad. It's literally an iPad. We just invented an iPad.
Or a notebook Surface.
Oh, we're geniuses, dude. We're basically Steve Jobses because we're just two Steve Jobses in here because literally, dude, we just thought about the iPad. Just randomly two guys sitting here being geniuses thinking and creating things. I mean, yeah, it's already invented, but we thought that through and we're like, oh, yeah. That's like, if you think about it, you're like, okay, so we're out here and like, oh, we can make and we figure out how to do electricity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, yeah, electricity is already there. But if you don't know about electricity and you create electricity, you invented that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're...
that makes sense.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you didn't...
I mean, yeah, I knew about the iPad, but...
Somebody's done it before.
Yeah.
But in that moment,
you never knew about it.
Created and invented your own way of making it.
Yeah, like when I called you on the phone the one time, and I was like, dude, I got the greatest freaking idea. We're going to be so rich. It's going to be cheap. It's going to be super rich, and we can make them ourselves and send them to people. Doesn't matter. And it was basically a fishing gaff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's already invented too.
Yeah.
But, think about it. Didn't know it was a thing, but I invented that. No, it came from my brain. And then, you know, now, but the cool part about doing stuff like that in that magical moment is that I know that my idea would have worked, right? Like, it's a foolproof. I'm like, oh, snap. I just thought of an idea that actually was genius. So that makes me genius. Right?
No.
Right?
It makes you as smart as the person who invented that in that time. So, like, Galileo.
Genius.
Or Sir Isaac Newton.
I just invented the iPad. One of the most successful things on the market.
You didn't invent anything.
No, but I thought about it, though.
You're just like,
I'm an ideas guy. That's what I'm an ideas guy. My idea would have worked.
Wait, that's an iPad.
My idea would have worked. That's all I'm saying. It would have been super successful. Ho, ho, ho. Jiminy Cricket.
What? Anyway.
They're ruining Mulan. That's what I want to talk about.
Why are they ruining Mulan, though?
Because they're ruining Mulan, they're ruining Cinderella.
Wait, the live action one?
The live action one.
That Disney's doing.
But
Disney's doing it.
It's a Disney live action thing, I'm pretty sure.
So how are they ruining it?
So, because everybody's a bunch of pansies, and they are making, first of all, the whole part of Mulan, right? Mulan is probably the gayest Disney movie of all of them, if you think about it. Because it's a guy that's a captain of a place that falls in love with a dude, and then when it comes out that he's a girl, he's like, oh, thank God. And then he's like, still ends up banging and marrying the dude. Well, it was a chick, but like, they didn't know. That's the most progressive freaking story out there right now. That's more progressive. And then the dudes dress up like chicks to get in, to sneak in. This is the most progressive movie ever, and they ruined it.
True, but
the general doesn't bang him, doesn't bang her, and then she falls in love with the dude that's in the army. It's a bull. There's no dragon with Eddie Murphy's voice. There's no cricket. They took out all the good stuff.
No grandma.
I don't know, dude, but this is the thing. That's BS. They took a movie that was technically the most gender neutral.
I think it was one of the most successful movies in Disney history.
Probably, and the most what should be acceptable in this day and age. it's a dude that falls in love with a dude, and then he finds out he's a chick, and he's like, oh, snap, I'm
still okay with this.
Yeah, he's like, I'm cool with it, and then he's like, oh, this just works out for me socially now. and then they're like, you know what's a good idea? Let's dress up like women to get in, and they don't look like women at all, but they still go in, which is, it's ma'am! Exactly what I'm talking about. So then it's completely fine. It literally goes along with exactly how the world is today, and they changed it to be not like the world is today. To shove a point down somebody's face when they could have just done it subtly by redoing the freaking movie. Absolutely ridiculous.
I agree.
So frustrating.
Now, what do you think is a more progressive movie, though? And hear me out. Think about this. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yep.
Okay, 7 midgets living together. Little people, sorry. I'm going to bleep that out.
Some of them like to be called midgets.
That's actually true. I know somebody who actually prefers midget over little person.
Some like to be called midgets, some like to be called dwarfs. Some are born in the game The Hobbit, the movie The Hobbit, and some are born in real life. Dwarves are not real. Midgets are.
I know, but I'm saying, so seven little people, dudes,
I'm just kidding,
living in a small house together and all sharing one woman.
Yep, that's called Mormonism.
I mean, that's a pretty progressive Disney movie.
Is that Mormonism?
No.
Polygamous.
That's polygamy. I don't know if that's Mormonism.
That's polygamy, and actually super progressive because there are little people.
Yeah, I mean, they need parts too.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Very progressive, but I do think that the dude falling in love with the dude turns out to be a woman.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Then he's still cool with it, which is
that's more of an issue, right? Because being a homosexual used to be a crime.
Yeah, that's a current issue right now, right? Yeah. That's a current thing that's happening in the world. Why change it?
Yeah.
Dude, Mulan could have been great for the country right now.
God.
China is going through a lot. That could have been what they needed, was some little bit of almost gay stuff going on. And then with the switch, and then they dress up like the girls, they might have been in it. They might have been down for that, and then it raised up the country.
What?
And then they can have trans people. I don't know if they can have trans people over there. They're pretty strict.
Are pretty strict.
I guess they do prefer boys, right? They prefer to keep the boys, so I guess at some point they got a lot of people. Statistically, there's probably a lot of dudes out there that like to wear dresses. That's statistics, dude. That's actually probably a fact.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
If you think about it, though.
Can you say that statistically China probably has the most men that like to wear dresses?
Well, statistically, there's too many people in China because there's more people in China than there is in the United States or in North America combined. And so statistically, there has to be
more
a
guys.
Very concentrated group of individuals who probably do drag.
Yeah, and that's probably a pretty big number considering the fact of how many people there are compared to.
There's a lot more Asians than there are white people.
Yeah, wow. Well, you learn something new every day, kids. So if you want to learn something new, there's ants everywhere and they're in your pants. Ants!
Fire ants, bullet ants, leaf cutter ants,
killing babies, and they're eating babies.
Yeah.
Ants. So the ant of the week. Well, we need to do two ants. But the ant of the week is the main biatch.
What do you mean?
Of the ant world.
You mean like it's the...
There's just the
bee's knees?
There's just so many of them.
Well, I mean, what makes this one special, though?
This one is so special because, first of all, for all those Californians out there,
shout out West Side.
This is a very dominant ant species there. It is basically the equivalent to our ghost ant here.
So it's small.
In the Floridas. It's pretty much the same thing. Basically the same exact size. And they have the largest colony in the whole entire world. And the reason that they do that is because they are all the same. They are all stem from the same nest. So the one nest, they nest, right?
Mm-hmm.
They nest. The queen makes a nest. Bing, bang, boom. Once a new queen is made, normally what happens is that queen will make her nest, right?
Right.
Worker ants, male ants will go out and fly out, find a nest, say, hey, we found this place to live, right?
Mm-hmm.
She comes back. She goes into her nest. She bites her wings off. Because she doesn't need those anymore, right?
Her own wings?
Her own wings. She rips her wings off.
It's metal as fuck.
Uh-huh. She rips her wings off. And then, now all ants do that, generally.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
But
keep going.
But yeah, so generally that's what happens, right?
Yeah.
When in an ant world, right? And then they do that, and then the queen ant will burrow down, and start laying babies, right? And then the work begins. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Argentinian ants, they actually just build. They just add on. They're like a bunch of hillbillies that buy like some land and they're like, you know what? I'm gonna buy 10 acres, but I'm gonna put all my family out here and they all have their own house, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then they all have kids, but then they just buy the lot next door. That's what that's like. And then it becomes West Virginia. You know what I mean? That's what that. So basically, how West
Okay.
Virginia was started
So
is how Argentinian ants live.
that's
Now, I think I said this. I think I said this number before.
yeah.
But when I was kind of giving the teaser, but um, at any given time, there are about 10 quadrillion ants alive roaming on the face of the earth.
10 quadrillion.
10 quadrillion.
And there's like 8 billion people on this planet. So
Yeah. And the thing is,
that's that's like 100 times
yeah.
what we got going on.
Yeah, so the Argentinian ant, really cool thing. They're very, very tiny. They're about 2 to 3 millimeters long.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
So it is basically just a
It's like a ghost ant.
South American ghost ant.
Yes.
Okay.
There's ants everywhere and they're in your pants. Ants!
Fire ants, bullet ants, leaf cutter ants,
Killing babies and they're eating babies.
yeah.
Ants! Again.
2
Yeah, so
as well.
The bullet ant, otherwise known as Paraponera calavata. It's a tropical rainforest ant.
You're getting tropical.
Yeah, it's a tropical rainforest ant. Its common name, you know, when you're not calling it the Paraponera calavata. You can read that if you want.
Paraponera, Panaparana, clavata.
Alright, so that's exactly what I said.
That sounds like a Harry Potter spell.
Yes. So, now this bad boy, remember I said that the Argentinian ant and the ghost ant are around 2 to 3 millimeters long?
Yeah.
Okay, this
It's
bad
teeny
boy
tiny.
is about 18 to 30 millimeters long. So to put that in perspective, it's about a thumb, a little bit bigger than it's about a little less than a 1.5 of an inch. I don't know math, but I think that's it's like a little bit more than an inch. So that when you do an inch on your thumb, just imagine that bad boy coming at you. They're jacked. They're awesome.
Jesus.
Yeah, and they do have, I don't know if it's called venom, but they do have, like, so if they bite you, it's going to hurt.
Venom. Yeah, that would make sense, because venom is injected, poison is ingested.
And they're massive. They live in your tropical rainforest areas like South America, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica. That's the same place. Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, and Brazil. I can't read. These ants build their colonies at the base of trees so that they can forage it in canopy. I'm just kidding. It's canopy.
Read.
I'm just kidding. I knew it said canopy. I was just messing with you, man.
Oh my gosh. We need to get you hooked on phonics.
I don't... Hooked on what?
What?
Yeah, so the queen ant is bigger, right?
Yeah.
If you can only imagine, this ant is already huge, and it's bigger than that. Now,
I mean, that's like 3 centimeters.
bullet ants will eat nectar and small arthropods. One type of prey is a glasswing butterfly.
Oh.
Yeah. So basically, most ants are eating
Leaves.
Like, they're just looking for minerals, sugars, small bits of protein, maybe some other ants.
Yeah.
These things are just, like, straight up eating other insects.
They're eating butterflies.
Yeah, they're just going after it. They don't care. They're huge.
What I'm
they're
learning
out
is
there.
ants are probably the most metal thing on this planet. I mean, you rip your own wings off and then kill and eat butterflies. And then you break into people's homes, fart in them, and then eat their babies. I mean, the ants are just crazy.
Now, they do...
It's like if Florida man had an actual outlet. That poor man.
So they do have a sting.
Yes.
And they release a bunch of chemicals inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
And they can sting repeatedly, and they will.
Oh, God.
So it'll hurt a lot. It is the most painful sting of any insect.
I can believe that, because I saw that one dude who gets stung by everything or bit by everything, and he's just like, today I'm going to get stung by a bullet ant.
So,
and he died.
It has been described as the exact same feeling as what it feels like to be shot by a gun.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
That is friggin' insane. That is crazy. So, yeah. So, it's actually a venom also. Yeah. So, what's the difference between a...
Venom is injected.
Okay.
Poison is ingested. So, like, you poison the king, but a bee or a snake injected you with venom.
Okay, so is there any poisonous somethings out there?
No. Well,
everything is venomous?
There's poisonous berries. There's poisonous plants.
Oh, because you eat them, but there's no poisonous
There's no poisonous snakes.
Anything
That's a stupid thing
Anything
to
that
say.
can ever attack you that has some type of venom inside them.
Right. Unless
is a venomous... Oh, that's the stupidest thing I've ever said. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Because I'm an idiot!
Who apparently invented an iPad.
Hey, listen, I invented an iPad and a fishing gaff, and basically those are two genius ideas. So, I'm a genius. Shout out to my left elbow. Her name is Tina. Ask me what my right elbow's name is.
What's your right elbow?
My right elbow doesn't have a name, Dakota, because that would be weird. God. What a freak. What a weird... What? I can't even believe it. What's your right nipple's name, Dakota? What's your right nipple's name? Exactly, because nobody does. What's your left nipple's name?
Jeffrey.
Wait a second. Did you just say you don't have a right nipple?
No, I said I don't have a name for my right
okay.
nipple.
Oh, my God. My life was about to be changed forever.
But I just don't have a name for it yet.
Man, you ever think people just aren't born with a nipple?
Yes. People are.
Is there people that are born with no nipples?
Yes.
So those are normal human beings. Those are the real men. Are there men born with no nipples?
Yes, and they look weird.
Yeah, but those technically are the most manliest of men there is.
No, they're not.
Yes, because the reason why we have nipples is because we're a woman first. And then our ovaries drop, becomes balls, and then your wiener comes out. Your wiener just falls right out or something like that. I don't know what part of your wiener is.
So are you
A
trying
girl,
to come out as a woman now?
No, but what I'm saying is girls probably have a wiener in there somewhere. I guess that's why they can do that.
Clitoris.
Oh, so your clit falls down, comes the wiener. And then, what was I talking about?
I don't know. You just went off on this for some reason.
Oh, man, I had such a great point. Why did I forget what I was talking about? It's such a weird moment.
Dude, to be honest, I'm going to cut the last 10 minutes.
What was I literally talking about?
I don't know, because you just started saying things, and I have no idea, because you're just like, think about it for a second.
Think about it, though. I don't know. I thought if I said that, then it would make me remember what I was talking about.
You're a fucking idiot.
Oh,
my God.
Well, thanks for listening to the Chocolate Smoov and Chapstick podcast. Don't forget to love thy neighbor and covet thy wife. Or is it the other way around? Love thy wife and covet thy neighbor. I don't know.
It's neither one of those. That's sacrilege, and I'm gonna cut that too.
I don't know I wasn't trying to be sacrilegious. I'm just trying
sacrilegious.
to say. All right. Well, okay. So, all right, guys. Thanks for. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to Chocolate Spoon and Chapstick. Because we always have terrible endings. The endings are always awful, and we need to record the ending.
That's the point.
So,
it's not a
thank you guys for listening. I'm Chocolate Smoov.
And I'm Chapstick.
And that was a fantastic podcast. Don't forget to go to savethechimps.org, donate your money, come to my show March 14th, this Saturday, at the Side Door Brewing Company in Port St. Lucie on US 1 in Crosstown Road, right behind the Dunkin' Donuts. Come out, support. There's going to be great comedy. There's going to be an auction for some really killer things, thanks to Collector's Comics on US 1 in Port St. Lucie. And everybody please show up and come out, and it's going to be a great time. So come out and laugh. You can also pick up your Jack's Pickles and Penis Pumps gear when you get to the show. So bang bang. Don't forget to pee in the sink.
Later.